Purchase your tracks today.
Hello guys, Evans here, and in this video we will be looking at dictionaries. We have finished talking about hash tables, so now we will start to look at dictionaries. It's a very short concept of abstract data types, so it should just take us a few minutes and we should be done. So what is a dictionary? So basically a dictionary is just another type of an abstract data type, and basically it is made up of a key and a value. So you use the key to retrieve the value from the dictionary, just like we use the key in the hash table to find the value that we are looking for, to find the index rather that we are looking for. But in in a dictionary, we are using the key to find the value that we are interested in. So in a real world example, you may want to translate an English phrase to a Chinese equivalent. So maybe you may want to translate the key book or the word book to find what it means in Chinese as shu. I don't know if I pronounce it nicely. Okay, so yeah, so that's interesting. So you use the word book, and then the equivalent meaning in Chinese will be shu. So when you create your dictionary, this is what you would take into consideration. You take the key and you specify its corresponding meaning. So when the dictionary is run or when the program is run, the user will specify the key that they are looking for, and the program will retrieve the equivalent value for that key. Now I'll show you how this can be done in Python. Okay, so each key in a dictionary can only appear once. Okay, so this means that for every key that you have in the dictionary, it will be a single key, but the value in itself can appear many times. So for example, the key book may have 2 or 3 meanings in Chinese, and one key but multiple values. So keys in dictionaries, they are unordered. In a number of cases they are unordered, but in some cases they may be ordered based on particular criteria. Maybe you may arrange the keys in alphabetical order of the keys. For example, like in modern dictionaries, you will see that the words may be arranged in a hierarchy, like A to Z, okay, ascending order or something like that. So yeah, but typically speaking, the values in a key may not need to be ordered. You can simply just go to a particular key and you'll be able to find that. And if you are using a hash table and you can perform some direct access onto the keys, then it's even pointless to order them, because direct access doesn't need the values to be ordered in a way. Okay, so how does a dictionary work then? So an entity dictionary can be implemented, like I said, using a hash table. The idea is you want to be able to retrieve the values using direct access. So a value in a dictionary will be retrieved when you specify a corresponding key, and the same key values may appear more than once, but a key can only appear once. Okay, so this is very important, guys. The key in a dictionary can only be used to appear once, but the value retrieved may be multiple. Like I gave an instance, you may have the key book, and in Chinese maybe book may mean multiple things. Okay, so that's the case. So the difference between a dictionary and a set is that for a dictionary, you are allowed to have duplicate values. In other words, you can have multiple entries for a single key. Okay, and a dictionary, it's possible that you can create it also using a linked list as part of the definition, but in this example I won't use a linked list. I'll just use a simpler method of creating a dictionary in pseudocode. Okay, so let's look at how you can define a dictionary in pseudocode. Basically, we create a user-defined data type, and we say type dictionary entry. It could be any suitable identifier that you decide to choose. I'll choose this dictionary entry, and you have two string values or attributes that you create for the dictionary. You have declare key as a string and declare value as a string and end type. And then once you have this type, then you can create a list. Let's say a list of 20 keys or 20 elements, and I'll use the array name to be English Chinese, and this just means that create a list, and the list is of type dictionary entry. Okay, so it will be allowing you to enter multiple values or multiple attributes, which is a key and a string, rather a value. Okay, so maybe what we can do is try to code this in Python and see what it can look like. Now remember, Python has a built-in abstract data type dictionary, and the hashing function is predetermined in Python, so they have made everything so easy, so we don't have to struggle about coding dictionaries in Python, because most of the functions are built in. So let's write some code. So I'm just gonna open up my Python and go ahead and create a new Python file, and we'll call this Python file as dictionaries, and then we can go ahead and write some stuff. So what I'm going to do is to create, first of all, an empty dictionary, and then I'm going to be adding some keys and their corresponding meanings. Okay, so I'll call my dictionary as English Chinese, and then I'll define it as sort of an empty set or empty dictionary if you want. And then now I'm going to define the entries that I have there, starting with the keys. So English Chinese, and then specify square bracket and put in now the meanings. So we started with book, and book in Chinese is shu, so book. And don't ask me how I knew this, I just checked it online earlier on. So it's supposed to be shu, but with that I don't know how you put the Chinese symbol on top the bar to make it like flat shu. So let me just copy it from my PowerPoint, or alternatively I can get it from Google. So I'll just say English Chinese, English to Chinese, and I need book, and it's supposed to be shu. Okay, is it the way you pronounce it? Yeah, shu. Good. So I'm just gonna copy this and paste it in here, that's shoe. So that's for a book, and this is done. I can define another Chinese, English Chinese word. Let's say we want to define, okay, let's say computer, and we will need to go and check the meaning of computer. So let's try computer here. And by the way, this is an online dictionary, so it's implemented on the same thing. So a translator may be an example of a dictionary, not computer science. I need just computer. Okay, computer, and it's called now, is it? I'm trying to pronounce it. It's called now. It's dear now. So I was trying to use the English version. Since English, you would say Diana or something, but in Chinese, this is dear now. Okay, so I'll get that, guys. By the time I'm clocking 1 year, or let's say by the time I'm clocking 2 years with you, I'm just going to be speaking so fluent in Chinese. Okay, so it's dear now, dear now. So one of my students told me that when you have something like this, it means you're sort of going down. Dear now. Okay, so maybe we can define one more. Gives me an opportunity to learn a new Chinese word. Maybe I would like to find out what a calculator is in Chinese. So what's a calculator in Chinese? So I'm just gonna type calculator. This can be pronounced something like G Swan T, G Swan T. G Swan T. I had one of my students in class, my former school. She was called T, just QI, and so that's how I knew that one. Okay, so let's paste it like this. So G Swan T, that means a calculator. And maybe I can define just one last one, English, and then maybe I would like to know what a broom is called in Chinese. A broom. Okay, let's see, what do you call a broom in Chinese for sweeping? Sao Ju. No, it can't be Sao Ju. It's Sao Jaw. Sao Jaw. Sao Jaw. Okay, so I'm just gonna get this one, Sao Jaw, and paste it here. So this is how you're basically defining your dictionary, and you can tell it's one entry that you're using for one entry for the key, and you have a corresponding value for that key. So let's see. Now, what about if I want to use this key? I want to print what is contained inside this key. So if I call the print function, and I want to find out what this dictionary has, so I'll just say print English Chinese, and let's just try to run it and find out what this dictionary contains. So already you can tell that this dictionary has book is shoe, computer is dear now, and then this is calculator, cheese one T, and broom is Sao Jaw, I don't know, something like that. And then if I'm now looking for a particular element, I just need to specify. I'll just say print, and then I'll specify from the dictionary, and then specify now the key that you're looking for. So in this case, if I say print computer, and then let me just put the hashtag on this one. Hashtag is supposed to be this one. So already you can tell that computer will be called dear now. And if you want to put print another key, so you specify, let's say want to print, what does book mean in Chinese? And so if you run it, it will tell you book is shoe. So basically you can do something like this. There is also from your textbook the idea where you can set up multiple entries for your dictionary. So this is just one way. I'm just going to erase this, and then you can always rewind the video and check this code if you need to use this code. So I'm just going to clear this and then show you another method that you can use to define a dictionary. So of course I'll use English Chinese as usual. So English Chinese, and then you basically just define now. Remember, initially we defined the English Chinese dictionary to be an empty dictionary, but you can go ahead and populate this dictionary right from here. So the first parameter that you take is the English version, or what it means in English. So I would say this is going to be broom, because it was the last thing that I searched for. And broom would mean something like, so you need to put it also as a string, because it will be in quotes. So broom would mean Sao Joe. I don't know if they pronounce it like that. And then you can also specify, you separate it by a comma, then you can specify another entry. So let's call this as book, and then we can specify followed by a colon. Then it's supposed to be shoe, but shoe with this kind of thing. So let me just copy this shoe here, because in my English keyboard I don't have the bar there, unless maybe it's in Chinese or something. So this is one way that you can define, and you can continue defining more entries or multiple entries. You can go ahead and put computer, maybe just say computer, and then what does computer mean? So let's go back here and maybe do computer, and this is supposed to be pronounced dear now. So just copy this and paste it in here. So this is the equivalent. Okay, so next time now, if you want to check what this dictionary contains, you can just call print and then English Chinese, and then let's see what this dictionary contains. And you can tell that, similar to the other one, it contains these values. And if you change now and print that you want to access what is a broom, and then in Chinese, so if you run it, you'll see that it tells you this is the broom. You can check what a computer is in Chinese and then run it, and it will tell you this is your computer in Chinese. So basically this is how you go ahead and declare or create a dictionary in Python. So the most important thing for you to remember from this lesson is how to declare a dictionary in pseudocode. So remember, you're declaring a dictionary with an abstract data type. So I'm just going to show you. You have your type, and then specify the identifier. So in this case, I would say dictionary, let's call it entry, and then specify two key fields. Declare a key as a string, and it doesn't have to be a string. Sometimes the key can be an integer, but in our case let's just say we wanted to declare English Chinese. Let's be practical. Say English Chinese, and then we had two keys, and both of our keys were strings. So we'll say the first key, the key was a string, and the value was a string as well. But it doesn't have to be a string always. The value, rather, this should be value. It doesn't have to be a string always. The value can be an integer. The value can be, or the key rather can be an integer, and so on. So then now you end your type. Okay, so that's how you define. Then to use this, you need to define now an array, which you can use. Okay, so I would say declare a list. I would say English Chinese list, or dictionary if you want, and then specify, let's call this as dictionary, then specify, this is going to be an array, and specify the array size. I'll just say I'm taking 100 elements, and then of English dictionary. Okay, of English dictionary. So you're saying, well, create an array and give me 100 elements in that array, but let the type of that array be English dictionary. So remember, this is not Python code, this is pseudocode. I was just using the editor here to type what you would have. So forget about the underlinings, they're not supposed to be there. They're just for purposes of just showing you how the pseudocode would look for this one. So maybe I'll try to find some question that we can do, but for now I think I'm gonna end here, and this marks the end to dictionaries. And the next topic maybe that we may be looking at, let me just see my syllabus here. We may be starting to look at recursion,